control deck here against Obi Blue Force. The team is they are resolving their mulligans. Let's see how this goes. Pedro is on Obi-Wan Blue. That Virgin's Temple, though? No, I think that's the regular 28 health. Hard for me to see, but I think it's the 28 health one. The Virgin's Temple is kind of a meme type of deck that allows you to play the Consular and play something huge on the next turn, but I don't think that's the best deck. Pedro has injured his middle finger, so he can't give the FU to his opponent. Let's see. Looks like Marcel has the initiative. What will he do with a deck? I guess he passed. Secretive Sage comes out, which is a good unit because it keeps the ping damage. He could just let the shield go off if he wants, but he allows him to draw instead. And then takes the initiative for Pedro. Pedro looks like he drew a blue leader. Don't think you're going to be seeing too many ships. Maz is probably pretty good here to just push damage, as this is a slow control-y deck. That's probably what I would do in this position. Try to push as much damage as you can, as quickly as can, and that's what he does. 4 to base. From the Maz Kanata, one of my favorite cards and characters. Maz always gets the best cards. Gotta love Maz. All of her cards are fun. All right, looks like the ping this time, he allows the shield to be taken off. Now he can put the experience onto his Secretive Sage, which he'll do because that insulates him from taking he can absorb the ping if he wants and not let him draw a card. This is Dedra's flip turn, though, so you have to be aware of that. She is an aggressive unit. She will come out on turn 4. Chira comes down to stop the Dedra. Takes 3 damage. And Pedro will take the initiative. 7-0 in life totals. This Colossus deck has a lot of life to get through, but so does Obi. Like I said before, it says 28, but that is not exactly true. Looks like Dedra will go into the Chirrut. Chirrut doesn't use the force, just lets it go. Maz will get in for 3, bringing Marcel up to 10. Looks like we have some Sentinels in Marcel's hand that I'm assuming he's going to want to put down. Now, this could be bad because I think that Sentinel only has 5 health, which could lead to a blue leader ambush and destroying. Could be really good. For Pedro here. No, he decides to Shatterpoint instead. allows his OB to get in. I don't know if he mulliganed the. He might have mulliganed that unit. See, Pedro has to be careful to leave a bunch of units in his hand that are small that he can repopulate the board if we get to the point where we see the board wipe card from Marcelo. He does condemn the Obi. What's the Obi's like? Don't know if I would have did that. I would have got in for Thor. Now this droid is in the way. Does he have some sort of removal for the upgrade? Why did he do that? Condemn is a difficult card to get through for the Obi deck. Once again, like, I think he has a Blue Leader in his hand. Like, he could have cleared. I think you just play Blue Leader to space as a regular unit. Because you need to start pushing damage. Obi is pretty much doing nothing anymore. And Condemn is a strong card. For Marcelo here. Let's see what Pedro can do. He's getting to the point of his big bombs too, which could be useful. Looks like we're going to return this to his hand. No, he taps and then he can take a card that's also green out of his hand. And looks like he's going to take another Yoda's lightsaber away. Pedro's hand doesn't look very strong for this, and it does seem as if Marcelo has stabilized, which is troublesome. Reading what Condemn does, he's not going to be happy to realize that it does make him -6 with no abilities. But he could go even taller, like just throw tons of upgrades on it, but I don't think he has that. Plays an Ezra. Puts 2 damage on base. I feel like you just dropped the Blue Leader into space right now. Right? Or you can claim, I guess. Yeah, it's what he does. And try to ping. Looks like he's going to allow. Sorry for having a little bit of lag here. Is he going to decide to take it? No, he lets him draw. These draws from Pedro are not great. Getting a lot of Sentinels, getting a lot of repeat units, unique units. Not so good. He really would like a Keller in here or a Yoda. Something big that could take over the game and make Marcelo have to answer all of his threats one at a time. But he does clear the droid. Generates the force. There should be 2 damage onto 3 damage onto Ezra. He's allowing him to draw. He's got a ton of cards. 4 damage to base brings the Colossus to 20. A lot of resources. Paying 5 for another Sentinel. Now here is where does he have this blue ace? The blue, because this is a 3/5 Canto Blight security, and that's probably where you want to be. But I think he resourced the blue leader, which is tough. He does play an itinerant warrior, which allows him to heal back to 0. Anyway, I think Pedro's going to learn the hard way on what to keep in mulligan in this match. He needs the big hitters though. He needs his Yodas. He needs big units. He does have a restored lightsaber in his hand, which I guess he could start to make what's his name even bigger than it is. That's what he's gonna do. At some point, you gotta let this Maz go. He's drawing way too many cards. Because soon you're gonna get to the single reactor ignition. And single reactor ignition kills all units, including leaders. And then it starts to get bad. And there it is. So that will kill every unit. 1 damage to the base for all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4 damage to base from that. Now, hopefully, Pedro has a lot of small units to play. Like a couple 3-drops or a 2-drop and a 3-drop would be great to have here. Because you know that there's going to be a lot of single target removal. He does have a 3 and a 2-drop, which is good. Because that puts some more pressure back on Marcelo rather. We'd love to see a Keller and Beck here, especially if he like plays 5 or 6 resources to just like tap out something big. But I can't see what Pedro has drawn. I know his hand was looking pretty weak before with some like smaller cards like Obi-Wan and some removal and stuff. So Marcel's first action, paying 3 to get another Sentinel. He has Protect the Pod here. Takes off the shield with Yaddle for 3. And then he's going to kill the Ezra for 6, healing 3. Is that Blue Leader or is that Obi? Let's see. I think Pedro's hand is just not very good for this situation. He's going to protect the pod just to get rid of this Sentinel, which doesn't feel good. And then hopefully have another unit that he can play. I think he's got an Obi. Okay. Ow. I think he needs to think about putting some experience on, especially if he doesn't have the initiative. But it's getting to the point of the game where I don't think you're going to be able to take this one off of Marcelo. He's got too many cards and too many resources to work with, I think, at this point. No Glory, only results. Kills Obi-Wan. And I also think Pedro needs to stop resourcing. 2, 4, 6, 8. I think he's got plenty of resources. Too many. It doesn't have Yoda yet. Not great. He's gonna kill the... And now his hand's empty. I'm playing Owen. He's gonna stop resourcing. I think he should have stopped resourcing like 6 turns ago. Definitely no more resources. You have more than enough. The biggest thing that you're probably playing is just Yoda, and he hasn't seen that. Kelleran is really what you need in these control matchups. You need lots of Kellerans. All the Kellerans in the world. It does not look like he got it this time. This is not looking good for Pedro, even though the score tells a different story. It's going to be tough because now the big units start to come down for Marcelo. That gives -2s to everything. He should have gave the experience to the Adolescent and it wouldn't have died. I think Pedro is maybe just getting into the game, maybe missing some lines and some little nuances that are in Star Wars. He puts, is that Mastery? I'm thinking it's Mastery. He's got Hana to start healing now, and I think this game's probably over. He's got the -2/-2. That's an Owen Lars with experience. Yeah. And he's got some open resources, but I don't know if he's got anything to play. He's got to protect the pod, which won't do much. No, he's just going to pass, I assume. Because that doesn't do squat. And now the attacks from Lawbringer start to pile up, and I think this one will be over. That's a big Owen Lars, though. Owen is putting in work out there. But yeah, I think this is part of the program where you can probably just go to game 2. Did he draw something good? Nope, he did not. Did he resource again? Boy, gotta stop. Boy, gotta stop. Oh, did he protect the pod? No. What happened here? Why is the Lawbringer gone? What did I miss? What did I miss? He played to protect the pod. Owen is dead, but he does get to search for a card, which might help him find like a Kelleran or something, which he really needs to find. How did that Lawbringer die? I'm not sure. I must have missed something. But yeah, this game's trouble now. More Sentinels. Marcelo's deck's got to be starting to get a little tight there. Pedro not drawing well. For considering that Marcelo has a huge hand, he's not really like playing anything bad. Obviously, he's holding back most of his good stuff to remove whatever Pedro puts down, but just doesn't seem like it's going to be fun. Cheer it. Looks like he's going to play something that kills Cheer it. Is that 12 Annihilator? Oh boy. Oh, that kills all the Annihilators, get all the Sentinels, get all the Chirrits out of his deck and in his hand and his everything. At this point, this is probably where I would, like a person that's playing in more of a competitive environment, you would probably just scoop and move to the next game. You're not going to win this game, and you might need all 30 minutes to win 2 games in a row. So if I was Pedro, I would just probably scoop this one up, especially since he's not drawing Kellerans, he's not drawing Yodas. It's going to be tough. And plus this this unit is over. All right. Well, game 1 will most likely go to to Marcelo here. Tough. I mean, Pedro had a decent start, but I also think he needed to stop resourcing earlier. He might not realize that he doesn't have to resource sometimes. You see, he resourced again, right? Did he resource again? I think so, right? Because he had one card in his hand, drew two. And he's got to stop resourcing. There's just no way to come back from this now. This game's over. He's going to Moz. He's going to keep fighting a good fight. But now is where it gets bad. 12 damage to the face. Devastator here. Or Annihilator, I should say. Yeah. He's not going to be able to get this one. So delaying the inevitable a little bit, takes initiative, takes 12, 26, and that's probably just game. And then does 4 damage to with Devastator, and then move on to the game 2. Game 2. So first game goes to Marcelo. This is a tough match for Obi, I think. Once the stabilizing happens, it's pretty much over. I don't think Obi has a really great way to deal with. Obi doesn't have a great way to deal with Condemn. Really shuts him down. They really need to bring back like Confiscate in a neutral color. Like that's a type of card that should just always be around. Because right now all upgrade removal is just locked to red, which just doesn't feel very good from a gameplay perspective, from a player perspective, because it just makes red like one of the better colors. Upgrades are very difficult to deal with already. And by locking all relevant upgrade removal behind like red is kind of rough for decks that don't play red. Now, for those that don't remember, Confiscate has rotated, but it was just a 1-cost neutral card, kills an upgrade. Great card, perfectly printed. Should be something that's like mainstay. I assume they might like bring that back because it's causing a lot of unfun play patterns. You know, like these pilots that are huge that you have no way to get rid of them. These upgrades, and people create Voltron units. It's not really a fun environment sometimes. So Confiscate needs to come back. I'll get off my soapbox now because we're getting into game 2. Pedro's going to have to play quick. That's why I think he probably needed to just like probably concede when it was tight there to try to get to game 3. Because I mean, it's Obi that can win. It has to be fast. It has to have a much faster start than he had before. But yeah, it's possible. I mean, his start was okay, right? He had like a 14-unit Moz. I guess it wasn't the worst. But yeah, this is going to be a tough match to win. We will be having 5 rounds here today, which is cool. This is a showdown. All right, well, game 3, we're getting underway. We're shuffling up. We're mulliganing. All right, let's see if Pedro can have a better start, maybe learn some of these more annoying play patterns that that the Colossus deck brings to the table here. Hopefully he learns that he needs to maintain a really big hand of units and keep a constant flow of units on the board. I hope he has all the big things that he needs, like he really needs those. He really needs those units like Keller and things like that. I hope he doesn't mulligan the blue leader again, because that card could have maybe saved him before. I don't think he needs too much removal either. Like there's, I mean, I guess it's good to do the I guess it's good to be able to do the other things. Like he probably wants to keep pressure on. Maybe do something like force him to have mastery. He's probably just gonna Moz again, I would assume. Wait, did he mulligan? Did he resource Moz? He resource Moz. Interesting. Okay, well I would take initiative. Oh no, I can't because it's not 5 resources. I am back in the Han Solo on 2 days where you can play blue leader for 4. He's only on 3 resources, so he can't get rid of that Bith Brute. But he can give the experience to his Yaddle to be able to trade. Okay, there's a Kellerin. That's something that you want to keep for later. There's nothing to say he can't put a mastery on a blue leader, but let's see if the Brute will get in for 4. Probably clear the Bith Brute with Yaddle. Does he generate the force? Does he have the, if he has the force, you can put an experience on blue leader first. Oh, he shatter points. Okay. All right. This is not the worst. He should put an experience onto his blue leader to get an extra 4. He should have did the order a little bit differently here. Nope, forgot, missing some damages. Yeah, I think Pedro might be newer, so he's missing a couple of things, but he's putting in up the good fight, that's for sure. He missed the opportunity. See, like now he uses it. He should use it before, and his blue leader would have had hit for 4. Well, if there's no condemn in Marcelo's hand, he has a lot of upgrades. And that's going to be a very big Obi-Wan. You got to be worried about like Cantwell rescue cruisers that tap you with Obi down, but in general, not the worst. So he attacks into the Yaddle. Did you forget the resource? Did you forget the resource? Or is that card over there on the side of resource? So it's time to create a Voltron, I think. And just hope for the best. But I think, I don't know, Hana can't kill. Close though. All right, let's see what Pedro can do here. It's not a great position to be in. We're at the 6 resource turn. Marcelo doesn't seem super confident about his play, which signals to me there's no condemn. And maybe not even a Cantwell or Risk Cruiser for next turn. So he's thinking of how to handle this Obi-Wan to take the minimum, but yet not playing a Sentinel either. Looks like he's just going to push damage. Seems fair. Only costs 30. Mastery. It's a big Obi. Plays another Sentinel, which is obviously problematic. Shatterpoint would be good, just to clear the way. But I don't think he has it. It's 4 base. Dedra will go to base. And Pedro claims. I don't know what that card is. Did something and made a spy. Oh, what card is that? I'm not sure what that card is. It's a black only card. Black only event, I think. Interesting. All right. Sentinel is gone because he played Protect the Pod. But this will allow Marcelo to play some sort of response. Cantwell? Nope. But he does have to sacrifice a unit. Contempt for Culture. 2 damage to not be going to create a spy. Interesting. Big damage coming in, but... Ooh, Sentinel helps. Briefly. But Marcel does take initiative, so that signals to me that he has a way to... Well, I guess the Sentinel will be shut off and he can just run his Hana into Obi-Wan to clear the leader and then just stabilize pretty well. But we do know that Pedro this time at least has Kelleran, which helps. But I assume he's just going to run his Hana into Obi to clear that, or he might have another Sentinel. He goes with Condemn instead. Not sure I like that. Because now can't Obi-Wan trade into Hana? Plays Yoda. Oh, that's good. Yoda's big. He's gonna heal 5. Deal up to 6 damage to something. He will also give Sentinel to Obi-Wan. Okay. Obi is still big enough to get past Condemn as well. All right, so Chirrut comes down. Is it an ignition time? Yeah. Okay. Everything's dead. Heals 4. Yeah, this match is very tough for Obi to win, I think. Not easy. And at this point, 22 damage on the base, I don't think Pedro has much of a shot here. He's populating the board well enough. Must be hard to operate with a broken finger. I feel bad for him. Especially against this match, you got to do a lot of untapping because you go a lot of rounds. Okay, those get -2'd. The Wallbringer. All right. I think this is probably wrapping up, unfortunately, for Pedro. He's got too much damage on base, and one swing from Wallbringer will just end the game here. Yeah, this is a tough match for Obi. Looks like Pedro's a newer player, so he's got some lines that he needs to tighten up. But this is, I mean, this is a tough match for anybody that plays Obi. You can know that you're in big trouble here. He does have initiative. He can maybe heal once. He also didn't draw very well. I guess he resourced the Kellerin because I know he had one. I don't know if I would have ever resourced Kellerin in this matchup. It's hard to. He gives the minuses again, and yeah, this game is pretty much done. So, unfortunately, I mean, he could just Nebula Ignition and win, or Devastator. He's counting up resources. Does he have Yoda again? He does. But I don't think it's a little too late. Maybe not. He's going to do 6 to the Lawbringer. It's 2 per unit. Yep. Now if he has Devastator, that would be bad. I'm assuming he does because he's drawn a lot of cards. He kills Yoda, heals 3, and yeah, I think that'll be game because he has to take initiative. If he doesn't take initiative, it's game over. Okay, so he does take initiative. He pings the unit. He lets him draw. I'd probably just take the 2 at that point. He still has enough resources to play Ahana, and yeah, I think this one is over because now he can't kill both. Yeah, good game. Tough matchup. Not very fun for an Obi player to sit down across this. But luckily, I don't think a lot of people play this deck. Hopefully, not a lot of people do, because if it does, these like swarm decks will come back in style. I'm assuming this deck probably has a tough time. Oh, Hyperspace Disaster, but he's still dead, right? He's gonna hit for. Oh, no, he's not dead. Almost dead. Because if Darth Vader comes back, I guess this deck probably struggles into that. Just maybe not. I don't know. Probably has good. Yeah, it's over. So now he just kills his own units in this game. GG. Tough match. 3-0, 2-0 for Marcelo on Dedra Colossus. Interesting. Marcelo in here.
Opa.
E aí,
Ei.
Marcelo?
E aí,
De
tudo
boas? Tudo, e você, mano?
Faz tempo que a gente não se vê, hein?
Faz muito tempo, é uma semana, né? Tá tudo bem com você?
Tudo certo, graças a Deus.
Ótimo. Não tá jogando Lando hoje, não quer dor de cabeça?
Não.
Tem dor de cabeça, né? Tô jogando Dedra Colossus.
Então, hoje eu falei, não, vou tentar uma coisa diferente e tal, né? Vim pra brincar. Aí eu falei, vou de Dedra.
Pega o deck do Matheus aí.
Na verdade, engraçado foi eu que passei a lista pro Matheus. Aí.
Ele gosta de controle.
Ele gosta de controle. Eu falei, agora é minha vez, deixa eu testar ele no carteado físico. Testei só no Caravaggio.
Não, a deck é legal e é muito difícil para o Obi, né? É um match muito difícil para ele. Não tem.
Tem
Tem algumas
umas,
linhas, né?
tem algumas linhas ali, por exemplo, ele não viu o Kellerenbeck em nenhuma das partidas, pra minha sorte, porque depois de você fazer
Uhum.
um board wipe, ele voltar de
É,
Kellerenbeck é dolorido,
sim.
mas ainda.
Eu vi ele, acho que parece que ele é mais novato ou tá começando. Acho que ele recursou o McLaren, que me dá um confundir aí. E também, e também me ligou um Blue Leader que dava ajuda ele também.
É,
Mas enfim, e alguns tipos, os ordens dos experiência, perdi um dano aqui, mas
sim.
enfim. Mesmo assim, se você jogar perfeito, esse match é muito difícil mesmo. Então, eu entendo.
É. Sem o Kellerenbeck tudo fica mais fácil. E
Ah, sim.
pós-sideboard, né, não vi nenhuma Ray também, pra minha sorte, então tudo.
Exatamente. Eu não sei que ele tá jogando o Ray no site, mas o Ray no
É,
site é bom.
é,
É,
dá uma azedada.
e. Não, eu tava pensando, é um deck bom agora no meta, se as pessoas estão voltando por mais mid-range. E como é o match do tipo Vader, eu tava pensando, coisa que faz muito bicho.
Então, o deck roda Let's Call It a War main deck, né? E assim,
Uhum.
isso
Dá pra
ajuda.
limpar.
Então, assim, você joga alguma coisa, ele vai fazer sei lá o que, claim, Let's Call It a War, já dá uma limpada.
Aham.
É,
É bom.
o deck tem, né? Tem os Board Wipe, tem Hyperspace Disaster. Dá pra
Aham.
jogar, se der pra segurar,
Dá.
assim, durante um tempo, dá, né? Pro flip do Vader tem
É.
Condemn, então tem umas
Depois o
coisas.
flip acabou.
Dá,
Não,
dá
faz
pra.
sentido. A gente tava falando também que o Condemn é muito difícil pra. Qualquer deck que não roda vermelho, o que você
É,
vai fazer? Acho que o Fantasy Flight fez um erro grande para não dar um reprint to Confiscate, porque todo quebra de upgrade é só no vermelho. É
exato.
tipo, é muito difícil. Né?
É,
Acho que eles devem fazer um reprint
é,
do
é,
Confiscate.
eu acho que o meta hoje tá muito nisso, né?
É,
Você tem. Meu deck, por exemplo, aqui nessa partida eu não vi, mas meu deck, por exemplo, roda Aggressive Negotiation também. Então é um meta
sim.
de Aggressive e assim, muito
Uhum,
upgrade. Vocês viram na partida ali, Voltron, coloca 2, 3 upgrades em cima do líder.
sim.
Infelizmente, só vermelho quebra. Pós-sideboard até
Uhum,
trouxe o Walter Ring, mas não vi ele durante a partida. Mas ainda
uhum.
bem que eu tô com Dedra e dá pra fazer board wipe, mas caso contrário,
É,
ficaria esquisito.
não, o meta é assim mesmo, mas pra bloquear tudo do removal de upgrade atrás um Corsair é bem estranho pra mim,
É,
mas enfim. Vamos pra frente, 3-0 pra você, parabéns, vai continuar. Acho que tem 5 rodadas hoje,
hoje tem 5
então vai
rodadas.
ganhar alguns promos lá. E boa sorte pra você, mano. Bom
Obrigado.
te ver.
Bom, prazer te ver. Hoje,
Falou.
alegria total estar aqui com vocês jogando.
Boa, é isso aí.
Sempre alegria estar aqui, gente. Obrigado.
De boas. Tchau, tchau, Marcelo. É isso
Falou.
aí, gente. O Marcelo Pinhão é aqui, 2-0, vai para a próxima rodada. É isso.